Good morning students. Up to last lecture we have studied about the potential difference. Okay, there we see that potential difference is nothing but the work done. We see example, if we send a charge from lower potential to higher potential or higher potential to lower potential, then for that all motion of charges we have to do some work. Okay, and that work per unit charge is nothing but the our potential difference, we know. And also potential difference is an important, you can say, thing. Then and then what happen, transfer of charges takes place. If there is no potential difference, then charges will not transfer from one point to another point. Okay, so this is a one important necessary concept. Due to that what happen, we can say electric current is flow. Okay, and we know also positive charges are flow from higher potential to lower electric potential, and negative charges are flow from lower electric potential to the higher electric potential, such a way that transformation of charges takes place. Okay, why this transformation of charges takes place? Simply due to the presence of electric potential difference between 2 points. Okay, due to the electric potential difference, what happened, these charges are transferred from one point to the another point. Okay, and that motion of negatively charged electrons, that is simply called as an electric current. Concept of current we will see later, but simply the motion of negatively charged particle, that is the electron, that is nothing but the electric current. Okay, that all possible due to the potential difference. Okay, because electrons are transferred from lower electric potential to the higher electric potential. So we also see in last part of the yesterday's video, that is the definition of potential difference. Okay, so definition of potential difference is nothing but the work done to carry a unit positive charge from point A to B, from one point to another point, that is nothing but the potential difference. Okay, so simply potential difference is what? It is a work. Okay, if you consider a one positive charge, and if we carry that one positive charge from here to here, okay, so to carry this charge from one point to another point, simply first we have to do some work. Okay, unless doing some work, this motion is not possible. Okay, so as we move these charges from one point to another point, what happen, we have to do some work, and that work done per unit charge to move one positive charge from one point to another point, that ratio is nothing but the what? Potential difference. This is nothing but the volt. Potential difference has a unit volt. Okay, so there are two units generally used to measure potential difference. Some small units also we have to use, and some large units also we have to use. Okay, so in small units, millivolt and microvolt. Okay, this is millivolt, this is microvolt. So these two units are generally used in small unit. This also called as the millivolt, and this also called as the microvolt. Okay, millivolt and microvolt. So these units are used for the measure of small voltage. Okay, if you see 1 millivolt means 10 raised to minus 3 volt. Okay, 1 millivolt means 10 raised to minus 3 volt, and 1 microvolt is nothing but the 10 raised to minus 6 volt. Okay, 1 microvolt is equal to 10 raised to minus 6 volt. You have to remember, milli means 10 raised to minus 3 and micro means 10 raised to minus 6. Then some large units also we have to use. Okay, that are nothing but the kilovolt and megavolt. Okay, this is also called as a kV means what? Kilovolt, and this is megavolt. Kilovolt and megavolt, these two units are used for the measurement of large voltage. Okay, so generally these units are used in substations. Okay, so there are VC 220 kilovolt. Okay, so these are the used for the measurement of a large voltage. So 1 kilovolt is equal to 10 raised to 3 volt. Okay, milli means 10 raised to minus 3, kilo means 10 raised to plus 3, micro means 10 raised to minus 6, and mega means 10 raised to plus 6. Okay, so these values you have to remember of small units and large units, because we have to use it when we solve problems. Okay, directly statement they are given, that is the 1 millivolt voltage. So you directly understood that 1 millivolt means 10 raised to minus 3 volt, that much voltage. 1 megavolt means 10 raised to plus 6 volt voltage. Okay, so that you have to well remember these transformations. Milli means 10 raised to minus 3, micro means 10 raised to minus 6. That are the small units, and larger units are kilovolt and megavolt. Kilo means 10 raised to plus 3 volt, and mega means 10 raised to 6 volt. Okay, so such a way that this volt is the unit of potential difference, and potential difference is not simply, it is a work done to carry a unit positive charge from one point to another point. If you want to transfer one positive charge from this point to this point, then somewhat work we have to do. Okay, so whatever the work we have to do to carry that charge from one point to another point, that work is nothing but the potential difference, and unless potential difference, it is not possible to move and charge. Okay, if there is potential difference is absent, then motion of charges is not takes place. For that I tell you yesterday the example of electric wire. Okay, if you take only electric wire in our hand, then you will see that there are no flow of electric current. Okay, but as we connect it to battery, we connect battery means what? We give it potential difference between two terminals of wire. Okay, we are connect battery means what? We connect wire, one terminal of wire to the positive terminal of battery, and one end of wire to the negative terminal of battery. Okay, means what? Battery has a potential difference between two terminals, positive electric potential and negative electric potential. So if you connect wire between positive and negative terminals of a battery, then what happens? We will see that electric current is flow through that wire. Okay, so unless electric potential, motion of charges is not possible. Okay, such a way that this potential difference, that important concept that you have to understand. Okay, so you have to remember definition of potential difference, that is nothing but the work done to carry unit positive charge from one point to another point, that is simply called as a potential difference, and unit of potential difference is what? Volt. Okay, so these are the small and large unit that we have to use to measure this potential difference, that is nothing but the voltage. Now we have to see next topic, that is the free electrons. Okay, up to now we have studied about the potential difference. Now we have to see next topic, that is the free electrons. Okay, so electrons are what? That electrons are nothing but the fundamental elementary particle that present in an atom. Okay, so in the last year in science we study one chapter, that is the inside atom. Okay, we see whole story of an atom. Okay, atom is simply what? It is the smallest indivisible part of an any substance. Okay, so now here if we consider atom and if we try to understand atomic structure of an element, then we will see that atom is nothing but this is the nucleus of atom, and these electrons are revolved around in an atom. Okay, so if we see structure of atom, then one thing we will understood that, okay, this is the nucleus of atom. This is what? Nucleus. Okay, and there are some circular orbits are present around this nucleus. Okay, here at the center nucleus is there, and around that nucleus what? Some circular orbits are present. Orbits are nothing but what? There are the orbits are nothing but the path. Okay, on that path electrons are revolved around the nucleus. So here all positive charges are gathered in an atom. Positive charge means what? Simply all protons. Whatever the protons an atom has, that all protons are situated in this nucleus. Okay, so now we know atom contains proton, neutron and electrons. Okay, in that protons are positively charges, neutrons have zero charge and electrons has negative charge. Okay, so here all protons and neutrons are situated inside this nucleus. All proton means what? All positive charge is gathered in this nucleus. So what is remain now? Only electrons. Okay. So the remaining electrons are revolved around this nucleus. Okay, in this particular parts. So here atom is actually made up of this nuclear part and extranuclear part. So atom, we can say that atom is nothing but the nuclear part plus extranuclear. Atom is made up of from this nuclear part and extranuclear part. Okay, so such a way that atom is formed. Okay, in that I told you all positive charges gathered inside the nucleus. So the remaining is what? That is the negative charges. So that all remaining electrons that atom has, that are revolved around this nucleus in one particular manner and particular path. Okay, so such a way that these electrons are revolved around the nucleus. So actually concept we have to see, that is the free electrons. Okay, so if we see the atomic structure of an every element, okay, that is the different. Okay, because their atomic number is different. So if we see only metals, okay, if we see atomic structure of only metals, then one thing we will see that in the metals what? Similarly nucleus is there and remaining electrons are arranged in circular shells or orbits around this nucleus. So we will find that one thing, in case of only metals, okay, we have to see here free electrons. Why we have to? We have to study current in this chapter, electric current. Okay, and we know metals are good conductor of electricity. So why these metals are good conductor of electricity, that we have to study by in this topic, that is the free electrons. Okay, so here in case of metals, if we see atomic structure of metal, then we will see that the only one or two electrons are in outermost shell. Okay, in metal one or two electrons present in outermost shell. Okay, so outermost shell means what? This is the outer shell from the nucleus, that is the last cell, okay, where electrons are present. So here in case of metals we will see that only in some metals only one electron is there, and in case of some other metals what two electrons are there. If we observe all the metals, then we will find in their outermost shell this one or two electrons are present there, okay. So these two electrons or one electrons which are present in outermost shell, that are actually loosely bound to the nucleus, okay. So actually bound means what? We know electrons has negative charge, and nucleus where all the protons are present means our nucleus is positively charged, and negatively charged electrons are revolve around the nucleus. So here what happens, this positively charged nucleus always attract this negatively charged electrons. Okay, we know positive negative charges have attraction. So this one or two electrons which are present in outermost shell in case of metals, so these electrons are loosely bound to this nucleus. So we can say that this attraction is not that much stronger as compared to another metals. So what happened, due to the loosely bound of these outermost shell electrons in metals, in what? Metals. So these electron can easily move from one atom to the another atom, okay. So easily that electron can be moved, okay. What happened, that outermost shell electrons, that one or two electron present in each atom of metal, that are loosely bound to this nucleus, okay. So due to the loosely bound, what happened, they can easily move from one point to the another point of that metal, means transformation of that electron can be easily done, okay. So that loosely bound electrons, okay, so due to the loosely bound, what happen, they can easily move, okay. So such a electron which are easily move, they are not tightly bound to the nucleus, so that electrons are simply called as a free electrons. Free means what? Simply they are actually not that much bound, okay. So free means what? They can easily move. If you see this inside atoms, okay, these two, we know in first cell there are only two electrons are present. So these two electrons cannot be moved easily, okay, because they are tightly bound to this nucleus. But these outermost shell electrons, they are not that much tightly bound as these two inner electrons are bound, okay. So due to their loosely boundness, what happens, they can easily move from one part to another part of a conductor. So what happens, they can easily move. So such a electron, they can easily move inside the conductor from one part to another part. That electrons are nothing but the free electrons. Free means what? Simply they can easily move. We can easily move them, okay. So these electron move from one atom to another atom, one atom to another atom, such a way that they can move from one part to another part of the metals, okay. So such a way that these free electrons are nothing but the electrons which can easily move, and this case we see in case of metals where one or two outermost shell electrons are present, and that electrons are loosely bound to the nucleus. That is why they are free. Free means what? They can easily move. So such a way that that electron can easily move from one point to another point. such electrons are called as a free electrons, okay, that present in metals. Each atom of a metal, there are one or two free electrons are there. They can easily move, okay. So if we consider one atom means a very small part, okay. If we consider a one electric wire, then large number of atoms are there and each atom has one or two free electrons. So there are large number of free electrons are there. As we connect potential difference between that wire, then what happen? Large number of free electrons can be moved, and that motion of the electric charges, that is the negatively charged electrons, is nothing but the what? Electric current, okay. So that free electrons are important in case of electric current, or we can say that due to these free electrons, electric current is flow. So in each atom one or two electrons are there. I say, suppose I consider this much wire, okay. So this is a somewhat length L wire, okay. So here I told you each atom has one or two electrons, okay, each atom. So here tremendous amount of atoms are there, okay. So very large number of free electrons are there in case of metal. I consider here metallic wire, okay. So here large amount of current flow through this wire because large number of free electrons are there, because each atom contain one or two free electrons. So large number of atoms are there and that atom contains one or two free electrons. So such a way that, and that is why metals are good conductor of electricity, because this motion of charges, that is the current, is possible due to these free electrons. If there are no free electrons, then what happen? Electric current will not through that particular circuit. So for that, free electrons are important and that present in case of metals, okay. So that is why they are good conductor of electricity, okay. Also electrons are the carrier of negative charge. But that statement also asked in examination for the fill in the blanks many times, okay. What? Electrons are the carrier of negative charge. Generally the fill in the blanks question asks electrons are the carrier of dash dash charge. So electrons are the carrier of negative charge. That also you have to remember. Protons are positively and electrons are carrier of negative charge, okay. So electrons are the carrier of negative charge. That much part we have to remember for today, okay. So we will see tomorrow's lecture how the electron can flow through a conducting wire and electric current. That part we have to see in tomorrow's lecture. Thank you.